Hi, this is Martha Mock here, bringing you the Celebrating Woman movement. During this movement, we have the Celebrating Woman Award, sharing some amazing ladies, what they have done in their journey. What we're trying to do is to celebrate the woman as themselves, not just under a business name, not under their role, but as this beautiful person as they are. Today, I have the honor of interviewing one of our finalists. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us on this interview today. Please tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello, Martha. Thanks for having me here. So, yes, I'm Elizabeth, Liz Farrell, and I help women who are 40 plus who are finding their voice, who want to find their voice, and who haven't been able to express who they truly are on a deeper level. And it's to be able to get them to come back to that authenticity of who they are. And they may have had lots of different roles in their life, and they're coming to a point where it's like, where am I in all of this? Who am I anymore? And how do I actually get to become the woman who I can actually feel is in there but hasn't been able to be expressed?
That is so important. And I definitely hear it. I've been talking to a few different ladies and they all said that being able to find our voice again, that's very important. So I love what you're doing. So what inspired you to do the work that you have done and how do you become a finalist this year?
Well, I'll go back to when I was in my 20s, which was quite a long time ago now. And it was before the internet. And I had left Australia to move to the UK in London, and I was working in a high pressure role in the media industry. And all I could hear around me when we would go out in the evenings or lunches with my friends, women, and all I could hear was, "Oh, I really hate this job," or "I really feel so stressed and I'm just trying to make ends meet. And this job is really just to give me the independence to be able to do what I'm doing." But they weren't actually enjoying their life. They didn't actually love what they were doing. And I was a part of that. And so it got me to question, what am I doing? Is this really what I want to keep doing? And that question led me to go to a bookstore and to start wanting to read more about who I was and what I could do about that change, how I could be the woman that I really kind of felt, even though I didn't really know who she was at that point, I could feel her. And I had this book literally drop off the shelf. I don't know how that happened, but it was like there was a hand behind the book, pushed, and it pushed it off and it dropped in front of my feet. And I went, oh, okay. And it was called The Celestine Prophecy. And that began my spiritual journey where I within 12 months I left my job, moved to the States, to the US, and I started to learn about the deeper aspect of who I was, the spiritual aspect, with spiritual leaders, shamans, all sorts of different people, but also doing a course and just to be able to help myself initially first. But then once I had done that, it became a lifelong journey for me because I wanted to help other women. I wanted to be able to share that there is something else besides what we think we have to do just to be in the grind of making ends meet, or some role that you have a responsibility to uphold. So that became my inspiration because I was able to break out of that, and it was like, well, if I can do it, and I've had traumas in my life and experiences, well, if I can do it, so can other women.
That is so true. I think that a lot of us forget that we can do it if we choose to. A lot of the time when we say we can't, it's just that the moment that we feel overwhelmed, we feel like that it wasn't the right timing. But when the right timing comes, that's when everything started to shift. Which that led me to the next question. What moment in your journey are you most proud of? That moment that reminds you of why you keep going.
Well, I have to obviously say the moments that are milestones. Yes, the birth of my children. But with my work in regards to that, I've got so many different milestones because it's when I work with a woman who comes in at point A, and when we finish together, which depending on what's going on, and what she really wants out of her world, is to see her blossom, to see her go, oh my God, I can do this. And when I see them start their own businesses or to expand in whatever they're doing already, and it came from them starting to listen to who they truly are and trusting the voice from within, because we can have a strategy of this is how I can open up a business. But it's, are you opening up the business that truly resonates with who you are? Because there are lots of women out there doing things that they're doing purely for the money. And that's okay. There's no judgment on it. But for those who truly feel that there is something that wants to come out, the milestone for me and the blessing is seeing that come out in those women. And this year, I actually spoke at one of the speaking events in Melbourne for International Women's Day. And a milestone was they actually got quite a lot of the audience crying. So I don't know if we can see that as the litmus test of I got there. I got into the soul. I got into their heart space. But after I had made that speech, I had women coming up to me and saying, "Thank you so much for sharing that because I went through something similar," or it hit them in a way that it was a different experience, but they felt what was behind the words. And they just thanked me and they said, you've made me think about it differently now. And that's all we need to do as women. We can speak to each other and we support each other and lift each other so that we become our best version rather than just, I'm just getting by. We're here to to rise together.
That is so true because I think that a lot of people think that we're alone, and I was one of them when I was going through the challenges that we went through, and we forgot that we can ask for help. We can actually ask for support, and asking is a strength, not a weakness. That's what I think a lot of us forget in the moment. So having
Totally.
someone like yourself sharing that journey, it gives us a permission even just to say
Yeah.
that, hey, this is good. I can see that there's this light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's what's the most important part. So as a
Yeah.
finalist, what message do you want to share with other women who has watched your journey, especially for those that who may not see their own strength yet?
Yeah, so what I find with a lot of women that I've worked with is what you just said then, which is to ask for help. That takes courage because behind the question is, I want to move, but I acknowledge that I need assistance because I don't know what I don't know. And anyone who is ahead, whether it's in mentorship or whether it's in any professional field, there is always somebody who has had the experience before you, and they are there to help elevate you and to lift you. And so my message is don't wait to be ready. Don't wait for perfect conditions in order to think that now I can do this. Or don't wait for some date in the future that I'll do that when the stars align, when the planets align. And what that does is it keeps you in a holding pattern, even though you can feel who you are. The readiness is never actually going to arrive. The readiness or the courage happens after you've made the decision and you've taken that first step. That is where you see what courage is. It doesn't come before the decision or the action. So I say to all the women out there who can feel that they need to express their voice in whatever unique way that they want to express that, don't wait. Don't wait for January 1, 2026. There's only ever the moment, which is now, to make that decision. And so decide now and begin that process, because the sooner you begin, the sooner you actually make those shifts for yourself. Otherwise, it sits in your mind as an idea and never actually occurs. But you all have it within you and you can do it.
That is so beautiful. It is so true. Even like this is our first year of the Celebrating Women Award. We have over 140 entries into our categories. So it is really beautiful to see so many women are taking that leap, that faith in them, and to invest on themselves. And we do give such a good packages for people to help them and support them in their business as well. Because at the end of the day, no matter if you want a business or not, if you're just a community leader, we have a winner that was working for and supporting Breast Cancer Foundation for 16 years. And she got nominated and she won as well. So you don't have to be a business owner to actually join our award here. We want to celebrate you as the woman, as a community award that support you and to let you know that you deserve this recognition and you deserve this celebration. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your wisdom with us. It's always so good talking to you. So we look forward to having you join us again next year.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you. And you're doing a beautiful job. I love what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone's watching. I catch up with you next time.